Yeah, thanks for having us. Really positive first weekend for us. We came out and didn't have any exhibition games, just had a red and white game. So we knew coming into that first game against McNeese, especially a local game as well, it'll be quite tough, especially for our new players. We have 11 freshmen on the squad this year. So it was really nice to get out of the gate, start the gameplay strong and let everyone kind of settle in. Was really impressed by how much we got done this preseason. The group come in ready to go mentally, physically, and it allowed us to grow a lot and put in a lot of principles that would normally take us about a month to do. And that really benefited us going into the first game. I think we saw that from an attacking standpoint. The attacking play was very fluid. There was a lot of different movements. There was a lot of variety of attacks in the play as well. And I think that set us up really, really well. We got off on a great foot in the first half when Lucy Ortiz won the ball back, played it to Sicily, and we had a freshman, Addie Namath, running through on goal and rounded the keeper as composed as anyone would be. And for a freshman, she has been phenomenal so far. And then to finish off the second half, Tatum Beck had a nice cross in the box towards Mariella Stevens, and it's always nice to start a game winning when you've got a freshman on the score sheet and a senior on the score sheet. And I really think that both ends of the spectrum represented the team really well, and that helped us go into Sunday's game. Sunday's game was really good. Anytime you're coming off that game and you're holding the opponent to 0 shots on goal, you're more than likely going to walk off the winner. But it didn't fall that way for us. And I think that was just a little bit to do with the learning and how to deal with the second game of the week. Again, 11 freshmen. We had a lot of chances. We just lacked that little bit of composure. We weren't as mentally sharp on Sunday as we were on Thursday. But physically, tactically, emotionally, we carried ourselves really, really well. Really enjoy where the team are at right now. The seniors we have are really doing a good job of driving the momentum forward, holding the team accountable, making sure that we're pushing at all the right times, making sure that we're not getting negative because of the result on Sunday, because it felt like a loss with the chances that we had. And we'll start practicing this week and get ready for Thursday's opener against MTSU.
Thomas had mentioned the stat, you guys outshooting your opponents 42-13. What are you seeing as kind of the big kind of thing that's kind of causing that big disparity? Is it more on the attack? Is it more on the defense, or a little of both?
Yes, both. I think that one of the big things where the team have done a phenomenal job is they came back ready this year. I think if you were to ask them, they would be very honest and very self-aware to know that the last 2 seasons, they just haven't been sharp enough coming into the months of August to deal with the speed of play and also to deal with the temperatures. And I think this year they came ready to go. So that allowed us to be a bit more aggressive on the defensive side of the game, force our opponent into a few more errors rather than waiting back like we had to last year. And then it's allowing us more off-the-ball runs. So it means more people getting in the box, more people being in attacking situations to pick up on second balls, to get shots off, to get inside the box. I think both sides of the ball right now are really sharp.
What is the impact of the heat right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, right? Like, you're out there and we're playing in a 90-minute game on such a big field, so we have to use our depth and we have to rely on the whole team being prepared to step in at any moment. So, you take Sunday's game, even though it was a night game, I believe it was 1:12, it feels like, was at kickoff. So it just sucks the energy out of you a little bit quicker than when it's a cooler temperature. So once you get into that kind of 15, 20-minute mark, even in the first half when it's just started, it's really intense. Even though it's a night game, you start to see some people having to catch their breath on both teams. So it's been able to manage that and understand the right moments to attack, the right moments to get behind the ball, and just making sure that cohesively we're all together and we've all got each other's back, because all it takes is one person that needs to catch their breath and the opposition has a chance.
What are your initial thoughts of Natalie and net so far in these first couple of matches?
I think I'd comment on our field players right now, right? And I don't want to take anything away from our opposition, but I think she's made 3 saves in 2 games. So I think the field players ahead of her have done a great job of limiting the chances that we've had to call upon Natalie this year. And I know she'll be ready when that time comes. I think she does a good job of organising and communicating and understanding the game plan. And she helps organise that back line, which is a huge load that she doesn't have to deal with. But right now, the whole field players have done a great job of limiting Natalie being tested.
I know it's only been 2 games so far, but it just seems like from these first 2 games and comparing to last season, it's kind of reversed. Your team was kind of on the ropes, felt like they were always having to defend last season, whereas this year, these first 2 games, you're putting your defenders on the ropes pretty early. Was that a point of emphasis in the offseason?
Absolutely, yeah. We rolled around last fall and we had a very successful fall in regards to where we expected the team to be. We made the postseason. We made the achievements that we wanted to do as a playing style. But we felt as if we just got a little bit suffocated. So this offseason, it has been a huge point of emphasis. We wanted to make sure that we analysed our game properly, figured out where that was coming from. And the team, to their credit, they have worked on those moments themselves. We're only allowed so much practice, but in the offseason, they took a lot of accountability and a lot of ownership of their craft and their game and their work ethic into getting better. And that's where we're at today. You know, we didn't get to see them all summer, May, June, and July, and they turned up ready to go. And it's a huge compliment to those guys.
With Middle Tennessee coming up next, what are some of the things that kind of stands out as your next challenge?
You know, they're a really good soccer team. We saw that last year. I think last year we were very lucky to walk away with a tie. They play some really, really solid soccer. Their outside backs are very comfortable on the ball. The centre backs can defend in space and step in. Their midfield is very fluid, and their front three are quite dynamic. So I think they're kind of the whole package. We're going to have to really make sure that we put in a performance that we did over the last 2 days to get in there, because if we allow them to dictate the game and play at their tempo and their speed and how they want to move off the ball, they're going to cause us problems. And that's what happened last year. So we're going to have to make sure that we impose our game plan into them and make sure that they adapt to us down here.
As far as tempo is concerned, do you feel that they more of like a faster tempo, or do they prefer to kind of slow things?
Yeah, they like to slow it down. They were similar to Louisiana Tech. They play in the same conference. That's kind of that conference's style. They like to play. They like to play through the thirds, through the midfield, build it up a little bit. Their game on Sunday, they dominated the ball. They had a lot of the ball. They created a lot of chances. And we have to make sure that we don't allow them to do that this Thursday.
Since La Tech plays like them, how encouraged are you going ahead, seeing that you had that test with La Tech with that style, and kind of see you were able to kind of get a draw, not to get a draw with it, and kind of hang with it?
Yeah, you know, I think it's nice when you've got an opponent that plays similar, because you've got some experience in it, but every opponent's different in the sense of where their individual strengths lie. Louisiana Tech's keeper was phenomenal, right? And we know a couple of players on the MTSU's roster who will cause us problems once they get the ball, and it's a little bit different. So style of play, for sure, we are hoping that we can do that, but there's some things that we need to do as well. We need to look back and say, hey, that was a 0-0 tie. We didn't score the goals that we needed to. Do we need to defend a little bit differently against MTSU in order to create better chances for us to put the ball in the back of the net? So there'll be some subtle changes, and we'll do a couple of things different, but it's nice for us just to go into it knowing that we've got 2 games under our belt. Everyone's now into the season, and we know the expectations, we know the standards, and we're excited about moving forward.
You've had a lot of different players play a lot of minutes so far in these first 2 games. Is that a strategy to deal with the heat, or is that a testament to how deep your roster is?
That's a testament to how deep the roster is and the talent level that we have this year. I think that there are so many players that have stepped up in practice over the preseason weeks, and there's a lot of people standing out. You know, immediately starting on the game there, or home game, on Sunday, we had 3 freshmen starting, right? We had Sydney Barnes, we had Sienna Hurrell, and we had Addie Namath. And then you look at a couple other things as well. Lily Parker's first year out. So there's a lot of new people pushing, raising the standard, raising the level, and it's still, we've got a lot of talented people returning from last year. So it really is just a compliment to the depth of the squad, and there was nothing strategic about it. Now, when we get into the Sunday games and it's 1 o'clock, yeah, there'll be a little strategy in that, right? But for right now, it's just a testament to the depth of the squad and the talent level that we have this year.